So this one I think is going to be a fairly compact and quick flow, foregoing any set warm-up, I guess we can say, right? We're gonna include the warm-up with the process of the sequence. So all you have to do is find a little area, a little space for yourself, roll out your mat if you have one, and then I'm gonna encourage us to start at the back edge of our mat. So we're gonna go ahead and mosey our way right on over there. We're gonna stand with our feet in any comfortable position, so that might be hips width distance apart, it could be feet closer together, feet wider, what have you. And just take a moment to let your arms hang heavy. And let the shoulders somewhat relax. I'm gonna ask us to seal our lips and just encourage a few rounds of breath to enter in and out of your nose. Just a mere moment to help center ourselves. And perhaps there is one big breath in, a pause at the peak, feeling, noticing the breath from within, that space you've created, and then just encouraging all of that breath to escape. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna do a quick warm up for the feet and then kind of work our way into the hips. So I'm gonna turn around and face you, but you're gonna stay just as you are at the back edge of your mat. So now let's go ahead and separate our feet about hips width distance if they aren't already. I'm gonna ask us to soften our knees and see if we can't begin to lift and lower our heels. And you might find that in the very beginning of this process, there will be a little bit more awkwardness to the movement. See if you can continue just kind of working through that, giving yourself a pause whenever needed. And again, just lifting, lowering, checking in with the knees, just asking them to be slightly soft. Let's try a couple more. If you've got the hang of it, you might encourage the lowering of the heels to be at a slower pace. Think of trying to resist the pull of gravity. Yeah, let's step outside of this, what we'll call neutral position, and turn our toes slightly outwards. Can we do the exact same thing where we soften our knees and just encourage our heels to lift and lower at whatever pace is accessible for you. Let's try a couple more. And again, if you wanted to play around with the challenge, you might encourage yourself to try and go slowly down, lowering of the heels. Let the heels anchor. Pivot your toes back to face me. All right, see if we can't lift our heels. Now pivot our heels inwards towards one another. And we're going to lift those heels again, pivot them outwards, away from one another, and let them soften down. So then, can my heels go up? Can they pivot in towards one another? Can they soften and lower? They go up, they go out, they go down. And see if you can't mimic those movements just a couple times. Feeling that pivoting movement occur from the pads of our feet. And you might find yourself kind of moving around on your mat, and that's okay. We'll readjust in a moment. Yeah, let's do one more. Heels in, heels out, heels centered, and take a moment to shake all of that out. Okay, so we're still at the back edge of our mat. I'm just turned around to face you. And I want us to now shift our weight to our left leg. And we can notice that moment we add more body weight, that left leg starts to adapt. Right leg feels lighter. Can we encourage that right foot to hover? I always like to make that correlation. Notice how your body just readjusted itself. Right? Feel all those wiggles and wobbles. It's in a sense your body just communicating with itself, determining what needs to kick on, what needs to come in and support through the process. Yeah, let's go ahead and park that foot down for a moment. Take a moment to pedal all that out. Okay, so we're focusing on the hip this round. So when you're ready, let the weight shift to the left, hover the right, and if you're close enough to a wall like myself, you might use this for a little bit of support, foregoing the balance component as we try to move directly within our hip joint. Okay, so we've got that wall space, we'll tap a hand on top of it. We're gonna pull right thigh up and in towards the belly. Yeah. Can we guide that thigh any closer towards our belly without the assist of our hands? Take a breath in and a breath out. Right, that right leg is going to veer open off to the right external rotation. Can you hold with a breath in and out? Now a bit more challenging. The top of your thigh is going to roll itself, I'll say, towards me. And we can even say that towards the front edge of our mat. Finding internal rotation, which tends to give us a little bit more instability. So again, use that wall. Think of a tall spine. Take a breath in and out through that sensation. Now see if you can't swing that leg slightly behind you. No arching in that low back. Take a breath in, breath out. Swing that leg underneath your hip. Pause. Breath in and out. Yeah, let's park that right foot down. Take a moment just to pedal out all that sensation. There we go. One more time. Weight sinks onto the right foot. Weight sinks onto the left foot. Hand at the wall if you have access. Right thigh pulls up and in. We check, can we guide that thigh any closer towards our belly? Encouraging a breath in and out. Now we want to guide our leg away from us. Bit more challenging is our internal rotation. Think top of the thigh rolls to face the front edge of your mat. Tall spine. Check in with the low back. Connect to your breath. Right, now you'll notice very minimal movement here. Can we swing that internally rotated leg slightly behind us into hip extension? Right, tall spine, neutral spine. Swing that leg underneath your hip. Pull that leg back into your belly. Try to release your hand from the wall. Maybe it's a couple fingertips at a time. Right foot's going to step forward, similar to what we've done in previous classes. Right foot steps forward, back knee bends. We have this low lunge position. Now we're going to focus on our back foot, our left leg. Can we merely push off our toes and stand tall in what we'll call a hovering Tadasana? So that left leg, if you can, is going to keep floating up off the floor. Left thigh pulls up and in. Step it forward, both knees bend. Find that low lunge. Can we tie those movements together? So now we're going to think front foot, left foot pushes us back. Hovering Tadasana. Left leg steps back, both knees bent. Right, push off back toes, hovering Tadasana. Left foot steps forward. I want you to mimic those movements at whatever pace feels appropriate and accessible for you. Checking in, just kind of gauging where you start to feel any sensation. Doing our best to stick within the moment. to stay connected and present to our body. Okay, so last one, we're going to step backwards. Both knees bend, pause. Options here, we can use the assist of our hands to help us get down, or we can sort of elevate that back knee down to our mat. Tall spine. We're going to encourage a gentle tuck to our tailbone. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let's see if we can plant left hand down to the inside of that front foot. And just for stability purposes, let's take that right hand in as well. Front foot, right foot steps behind us with a long leg. Pause. Feel the connection of your mat underneath your fingertips, your palms. Imagine that you're trying to push the floor away. Let's tap the left toes. That's the leg that's bent behind our left knee, which means we can now pivot right heel, our back heel down to the floor. As that right arm goes high, recognizing our side plank position. Right, we can hang out here, or we can take it up a level by trying to peel the back foot up off our mat, lifting it up towards the ceiling. Left hand still firmly pushing down, as is that left knee. Think of trying to push away from the floor. Let's crunch elbow towards thigh and see if we can't re-lengthen both limbs. So think my right arm is now reaching towards the top of my mat. Okay, let's think elbow towards thigh, slow and steady. And start to re-lengthen. Let's add in two more, your pace, a crunch and a lengthen. Last one, let's go for a crunch. Can we pause? Get that elbow as close to the thigh as you can. We're going to pivot. That right foot is going to step itself right back where it started towards our left hand. Right forearm anchors on our right thigh. Left toes pivot back onto our mat. We had a lot of cueing right there. So think our floating top leg pulls in towards our elbow. We try to step that foot forward. Elbow stays connected to the thigh as we pivot our left toes to the mat. Right forearm anchors, tented left fingertips. Hold with the breath. And I want you to think, can I keep my back leg bent just as it is? As we tuck our back toes under and try to hover that back knee. Tented left fingertips, we sweep that arm back behind us and our right arm follows. Right, notice the legs, try to encourage that bend. Subtle shift forward. Thigh as close to the belly as you can. We pop our back toes up. Feel that right leg do all the work as it pushes you up into your Dekasana, airplane pose. From our airplane pose, can we encourage left leg and torso to move in tandem as we return to, we'll say, a hovering Tadasana. So we can encourage left foot to step somewhere in front of our right. Shift our weight to our new front foot. And think of Anjaneyasana as it's our right foot that now steps backwards. Take a brief pause here. Connect to the breath. Notice the sounds in the room, the sensations of your body. Just give yourself that opportunity for presence. back heel is gonna lift high, 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 so we have a pivot point guiding back leg into warrior number 2. Right, we're not gonna hang out here too long, so settle in. Let both feet be heavy. Maybe arms reach out like a capital T. Front leg, left leg straightens, arms relax. Finding some internal and external work through our back leg. We pivot our back toes to face the middle of our mat. We ground down to the pad of that foot to encourage our heel to pivot to the middle of our mat. And like a little penguin kind of walk, can you wobble your way towards the top of your mat? Right, noticing that our left toes are pointing forward, can we lift that heel? And without the assist of our hands, try to drag that heel closer towards our standing leg. Maybe we added some more work here for that left leg as we lift and lower that foot up and down our standing leg. Right, can you see the similarities to what we focused on earlier, all that movement at the hip, the external rotation? Now deciding where you feel most secure in that standing leg, go ahead and anchor that foot. Maybe you express your branches. Hang out here as long as you'd like. Right. Now we're going to think our left leg, that's the one that's bent. Can we step that foot across our standing right leg? So our legs have crossed. Heels lift, both heels lift. So we can pivot and face our back edge of the mat, which is going to be our new front edge. We're going to mosey our way even further, further, further to make sure we're at the back edge of our mat if we weren't there already. Arms hang heavy. See if you can feel the weight in your heels. And give yourself that gift of your breath. Let's take your time as we start to focus on our second side. So again, if you have the support of a wall or a table, something around, you can go ahead and use that for these hip circles. I'm going to turn myself around so that you guys can easily see me. Now we're shifting our weight to our right foot. That means the left leg starts to feel lighter. We want to encourage that left thigh to pull up and in. We do a quick check-in. Can we increase our hip flexion by actively guiding thigh any closer towards our belly? If we can, we pause for a breath before encouraging left thigh to externally rotate. Take your time. The thigh of ours rolls towards the middle of our mat. We try to pause, breathing through sensations, using wall or table for support. Swing that leg gently behind you and then underneath you. Let's go one more time here. Thigh pulls up and in. Leg rotates outward or away from us. Top of the thigh rolls towards the middle of our mat. Taking a breath or two here. Swing the leg behind us, underneath us, and then back into the belly. And at this point, we're encouraging that left leg to step forward while asking both knees to bend. We're roughly around the middle of our mat. Let's talk to that back leg. We're going to think, can I push off my toes? Find my hovering Tadasana. Thigh pulls up and in so I can step it forward. Both knees bend once again. Right, we'll tie that together. We push off our front foot. Hovering Tadasana. Bend both legs as we step back I want you to take that at your own pace. Playing around with that balance, playing around with the strength of our legs. Let's do one more full time around. So one last time stepping forward, and a final time stepping backwards. Gauging what's most comfortable for you to get down, using the assist of hands or foregoing as we tap that knee down to our mat. Now let's take both hands to the inside of that front foot as we guide our left leg back behind us. Now we're going to focus on our bent leg, our right leg. Can you tap the toes away from the middle of your mat so they're behind your right knee? Right hand implants down. Maybe our left arm reaches to the sky. Right, try to push the floor away. Let your hips lift, your torso lift. And then maybe we hover back leg. Noticing how the effort absolutely increases at that point. Less contact with the floor, more effort throughout the body. Let's tap elbow towards thigh and lengthen both limbs. And try it again, elbow towards thigh, lengthening your limbs. Let's give it 3 more times. Now this last round, elbow towards thigh, pause. The awkward pivot of trying to take that left foot, place it where it started. Left thigh, left forearm anchors, right toes tap back to the mat. Right, I'll go over it again. So it's our sweeping left leg, elbow towards thigh, we take it forward. It's our back foot that now pivots back onto our mat. Let's keep that left forearm pressed upon our thigh, find tended right fingertips. We're encouraging a lot of work through the legs as we tuck our back toes under and see if we can't hover that back knee. Right arm reaches back, left arm follows. Think torso as closer as our thigh as we can get. Can we pop our back toes up and use the strength of that left leg to push us into Dekasana, accompanied by many wiggles and wobbles, which is why I often call this pose a turbulent airplane. At your pace, hovering Tadasana. Our right footsteps in front of our left. Take a pause, find the breath. Right, shift your weight forward. Back foot, that's our left foot, finds Anjaneyasana. Back heel lifts. Pivoting into warrior number 2. If you want to incorporate some arm work here, you might bend your elbows, guide them back behind your head. Take a breath in, breath out. Re-extend arms into that capital T. Flip palms to the floor. Flip palms to the space behind you. Internally rotating out the shoulders. Reach your arms back behind you. Bend your elbows. Hands go somewhere behind your low back. Take a breath in. Breath out. Let's re-extend those arms. Take them into a capital T. Palms flip up, and pause. Front leg straightens. Arms relax. And we're going to kind of waddle our way towards the front edge of our mat. So let's focus on our left foot. Toes pivot to face the middle of the mat, internal rotation. Then our heel follows. And we just kind of toe, heel, and we're as close to that right leg as we can get. Right heel lifts. There's more weight now on our standing left leg. And let's see if we can't lift and lower that foot up and down our standing leg. And just kind of checking in where you feel most composed, most stable. And that's ideally where I want you to let your right foot rest. It could be high, it could be low. It could be toes on the surface of the floor. Express your treat however you'd like. Now it's our bent leg. That's going to cross our standing leg. Lift both heels. Find that pivoting connection to face the middle of our mat. Let's go ahead and take our arms up towards the sky. Hands to the heart. Soft breath in. Soft breath out. Arms relax. Shoulders relax. Let's connect to one more steady inhale. Connecting to your exhale. Cool, and that is it. I'm not going to do any floor work here. Hope that you enjoy it, and I look forward to being back here again soon. Take care, you guys.